Sure you heard some people say you're entitled to your opinion. Although that can be the case a lot of the time, it's not. It's not the same all the some people are very delusional. You hear me? Some people are very delusional. And some opinions just can't just stay as opinions. It's not the same, man. Basically, I'm going to explain why not all opinions are created equal because it just doesn't make sense all the time. For example, think about it like this. There's a difference between an opinion and an argument, right? So think about it like this. Imagine somebody says, "Oh, I don't like pineapple on pizza." Okay, that's an opinion. Cool. That's a preference, really. Okay, fine. But then there's those people that are like, "No, pineapple should not be on pizza." I'm like, "Well, now you have to back that up." You see the difference? It went from a preference to now you trying to scientifically prove that pineapple doesn't go on pizza. Does that make any sense? Anyways, look, back to what I was saying about everybody is entitled to their opinion. It's misunderstood because people now think there's a loophole in it where you can just say what you want. And you can be entitled to your opinion. But if you start trying to put your beliefs onto something that is really subjective, then at that point it's gonna turn into an argument. You're going to have to defend that point. You can't say something that doesn't make sense and then say it's an opinion. No, you're making an argument. There's a difference. That's why there's an opinion and then there's an argument. Know the difference. Look, my bad. Look, I'm sorry. I'm so passionate because it's like, bro, people just be saying anything nowadays, man. This ideology that I'm speaking is really inspired by a dude named Patrick Stokes. He was basically saying you are only entitled to what you can argue for. And when I read this, and I learned this in school, so it was kind of interesting because I'm like, he kind of has a point, because like people just be saying anything and think it's fact. It's not facts, bro. I'll give you another example of unsupported opinions. Like, think about it, like climate change is a hoax. Really? Or just my way or the highway type examples or opinions. The reason why it is good to back up your opinions is so we can have productive conversations with each other. It's not just, "Oh, I believe this. Oh, I believe this. Oh, I believe this. Oh, I believe it's not constructive at all. I feel like as a society we have to understand that we can have opinions, but if you're trying to make an argument or a debate, it turns into an evidence-based opinion. It's not going to be the same. You can't just say white is actually not white, it's yellow. Like, it's just random. You know what I'm saying? You can't just do that. You have to make it constructive. You feel me? People have to realize it has to be constructive. Like, for example, if we actually have evidence, then it makes us mentally stronger. It makes us have the mental fortitude to defend it against scrutiny. Because look, there's going to be things that you believe in and not everybody is going to agree with, but you have to stand up with that if you have some evidence or some form of research to certain arguments. You feel me? Now, I can have an opinion. My opinion is, I don't know if it's really an opinion, more like a preference, but hey, in my opinion, I like the colors red and black together better than white and black or something like that. You know, I'll give you an example of how to back up your opinion. Like, for me, my opinion is that I feel like instead of just saying, "Oh, electric cars are better than gas cars" or whatever, I could say that I like electric cars more than regular cars because it's better for the environment, it's less carbon emissions, etc. like that. You see, I can have an opinion, but you know what I'm saying? It's not just saying, "Oh, I like this." And then some people get mad when people disagree. And then it'd be like, "Well, it's my opinion, so I can make my opinion." No one cares, bro. The problem is when it comes to these type of opinions, it can spread misinformation. And that's the problem, because people like a story. So like, one of the most effective ways is a story. And if you can somehow convince someone that even though it's an opinion that is unsupported and it's an opinion that's just out of the blue, and you get hundreds, if not millions of people with it, it's dangerous, bro. It's strictly dangerous. That's why it's so important to have that evidence. So, I mean, it just encourages creative and critical thinking, because we can't be brain dead. Because in this society, people like to latch on to what they hear and feel. So you have to be careful. You can have an opinion, but it has to be backed up in some form of way. It can't just be, I like this. You can have preferences. That's fine. But there's a reason for everything. You don't just have an opinion to have an opinion. There's a reason why you have that opinion in the first place. So, as I mentioned, I'm not going to put a how-to step per se, but just next time when you think about putting out an opinion, think about what you're actually saying, because what you're saying sometimes can affect everyone. And you just have to be more constructive with it. Think about, it's simple as this. Think about the reason why you're saying it, but it can't just be anything. Like, for example, I hate goats because they ugly. I mean, it is a reason, and so technically you could say that, but it's just, you know what I'm saying. Just to recap, all I'm saying, and I feel like what I've figured out as well, is that not all opinions are created equal. Usually, if they are supported, it's a more valuable contribution. You know what I'm saying? So let's just make the world a better place and not just, sometimes we have to keep certain things in our mind and think about it more instead of just trying to be this genius. I could go about that all day, but some people just tend to want to be geniuses and try to convince other people. But no, you're not entitled to that unless it's a fact. Yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Thank y'all for listening to me rant and yap at the same time. Make sure to drink your water, okay? But no, thank y'all for listening. Y'all have a great one. God bless y'all, YouTube.